All right, so here we are at the Under the Streetlights podcast presented by Hard City Raindrops. My name is Will. Welcome everybody to episode number 1. This is super exciting for me because I've been trying to do this for months now, and we are finally here, and it's kind of just like the first day of school. Really, that's what it feels like. It's been nerve-wracking the last few days trying to figure all this podcast stuff out, but I think I got it nailed down pretty good now. So yeah, my name is Will, and a little bit about me and my background with all this. I started out about 2016 making YouTube videos about everyday carry, EDC, backpack videos, gear videos, different reviews. And I started out a few years back, and then I also was going through the police academy training, so I was doing some training for that and showing people how you get through the training course to get accepted into the academy. Long story short, with that, I got disqualified. We'll talk about that in another podcast. But anyway, I decided to go full steam with YouTube. Although I do have a full-time job, I paint tractor trailers for a very large beverage company, which at this current time, I'm not going to name. Maybe later we'll figure it out. Some of you guys from YouTube may already know who that is and what that is, but we're going to keep that out of it for now. So I do have a full-time job. I'm a union employee, so yeah, I just like to have I like to do videos on YouTube about different gear and different carry because to me it's always been like that one thing that's made my life super more organized. And if I can help other guys be more organized and maybe and some of you probably don't even realize that you're having everyday carry. I mean, you might just carry a wallet, keys, a phone, and maybe let's just say a bottle opener. That's your everyday carry, and you do those things every day. Well, for me, I carry my Glock, I carry a knife, I carry a flashlight, I carry a wallet, my keys, my phone, and just that's what I carry. And then my backpack has essential tools in it that I would also need: multi-tools, another flashlight, extra batteries for it, some other things just in case of emergency. And then I also have emergency backpacks. I have all kinds of different survival videos and gear reviews and stuff on YouTube. So I kind of wanted to bring that concept over here, but not so much to where it's like overwhelming for you guys, where it's like kind of like nobody wants to listen to somebody talk about a knife all day or a flashlight. So here and there we'll talk about it and kind of bring it in, but mostly it's just going to be, we're going to have guests in here, and we're just going to talk about men's lifestyle, everyday life, just trials and tribulations, success stories, different fitness, education, books, movies, firearms, gadgets, tech, knives, writing, whatever it is that's cool, rap, hip hop, music. It's coming into spring in a few months, so we'll talk about fashion, different fashion, shoes, which like right now, let's just say, because I do kind of like shoes, but right now let me just show you guys on YouTube. I have the Sandlot Edition PF Flyers on, and they are sick. So I love them. They're just unbelievably awesome. So for you guys on the podcast, PF Flyers, you can look them up. But they're the Sandlot Edition. So if you remember in the movie, when, I forget the kid's name, but the pitcher, he always wore the LA Dodgers hat. What was his name? One of my favorite movies, but he laces those up on the pitcher's mouth. Those are the shoes he laced up. Those are PF Flyers, and that's what I have on right now. They are awesome. So, yeah, I'm into a bunch of stuff like that. So we're going to get into sports talk, here and there. Let's talk, I'm from Philadelphia, so obviously the Eagles, the Flyers, the Sixers, the Phillies, diehard Philly sports fan. You don't see me I like the Flyers, but I like Dallas or the Steelers or the Giants or, like some of these people out here. And we will make fun of those people when they're here because, believe me, there will be a Dallas fan here at least once, because I know so many of them. So yeah, we'll talk about different gear. We'll talk about knives. We'll talk about food. Um, you know, I like MMA fighting. I love to train, lift weights. We'll talk about fitness, education, just men's health in general, and just really anything that you guys feel like is just a good subject to talk about. We're just gonna have fun here. There's something here for everyone. We're not gonna really nail down. This whole this whole thing, this whole project that I'm doing right now, this Under the Streetlights album, is basically because Hard City Raindrops was about one thing: hard work, dedication. And when you put in hard work and dedication to anything, no matter what it is, you are eventually are going to see some kind of reward. And for me, it was pretty. It was, I started my YouTube channel with a broken piece of crap cell phone from Metro PCS. You guys on YouTube will know this because you dealt with crappy audio from my YouTube and bad lighting for probably what? I mean, holy crap, guys. You guys dealt with for years now. And I finally just, I guess when I hit 1,000 subscribers, and now we're almost at 1,600, which is insane that I almost got 100 subscribers in just about 10 days. And so I decided that this is what I wanted to do with pretty much the rest of my life. So I decided that, this is just something I really wanted to dedicate to and take to the next level. So with all that work, and not really knowing that it was my calling, because, I wanted to be a cop. I have my 235, armed security, my lethal weapons training. I love guns. I love to shoot. Love it all. I love to train. I love my dog, my little dog Storm, who's running all over the place. She's a little blue nose, American bully. She's a beautiful little mama dog. So I'm a dog owner, so we'll talk about some dog training stuff. I have some videos on dog training. We could talk about that. We could bring different dog owners in here and talk about experiences with that. I have a dog, another pit bull who was murdered, and that's a pretty crap story to talk about. So yeah, like I was saying, I just decided to upgrade the channel to a better camera, and just now when I'm looking at everything, and I have this amazing microphone with amazing audio and a MacBook Pro, and it's recording me for a podcast, and I have the Canon M50 camera on, and I have nice lighting and a beautiful studio here in my house that's just all soundproof now, and everything's just beautiful, and the sound is great, and everything just kind of worked out, and It's just crazy to see that this plan came together the way it did, because I did a lot of different goals. Like I wanted to be a rapper before I wanted to be a cop, and I was there and I did these things, and it's not like I gave up or whatever. It just felt like, when it didn't work out, it just kind of felt like, all right, well, something else kind of fell into place, and then it just kind of went from there, and this kind of was always there. And I guess when you meant to do something and you can feel it, it kind of just falls into place. And this is where we're at now. And it just kind of was pretty easy to just make it like, all right, well, maybe this is what I'm supposed to do. Now it's going to be tough because I don't want to be an agenda channel or podcast. I'd rather not have to deal with sponsors and you have to say this, you can't say this. I'm not going to be on anybody's agenda. I'm totally against these big corporations that are breaking up our constitution because we don't meet their criteria, like the whole patron thing on YouTube, bigger YouTubers leaving, and some guys getting kicked off Patreon because they said things and they take it out of context, and it's just a big mess. Freedom of speech and the Second Amendment and all those different things. We'll get into all of that. Now, what we're not going to really talk about is, personal things about religion or politics. I mean, we could talk about politics. We could talk about religions and different beliefs. But we're not going to get into, what certain people are and, talk about how that's stupid or anything like that. Well, we're just gonna kind of get into everything here. Everybody's their own person. I truly believe that, and everybody has their own belief system and to me, it's very interesting to see how everybody has all these different opinions, but still, yet everybody has the same basic concept of the world, and we could talk about space aliens from the bottomless pits of the ocean. We could talk about weather. We could just this is one of those this is a place where everybody could just come, tune in, and just find something interesting. Now, it may take a month or two to really dive into something for everyone, because you might not be into the first 3 podcasts, but I can promise you, if you're just tuning in right now, 10 minutes into this. Now, this isn't going to be a long podcast. This is just an intro right now. Sorry, my dog she bumped the camera for YouTube, and she's just being a pain. But anyway, this is just a little intro, so it's not going to be super long. But anyway, you may not find something in the first 3 episodes, but maybe the 5th one you will. So maybe not everybody will find every episode so popular. So maybe there'll be some things you don't like. Maybe you're not into movies, and that's what we're talking about one day. Maybe you're super into movies. Maybe you're super into comics, and I have a comic book fanatic here one day. Maybe I have a hip-hop person here one day, and maybe you're into country music and you're not into that, but maybe one day I have somebody who's super into country music. So, you just never know. I'm just going to have whoever the heck wants to come in here and talk kind of thing. I really do believe in this, and a lot of my subscribers from YouTube believe in this, and anybody who's here right now, I really appreciate you landing on this and taking the time out of your life, your valuable time to listen to me. And maybe you're seeking motivation. I don't know how much of that you're going to get from this episode, but there will be episodes where I can definitely motivate you with some of my stories, because I've been through a lot. When you want to talk about foreclosures, you want to talk about bankruptcies, you want to talk about my dog dying. He got stabbed, like I mentioned it. It might have been in the first take, but now I don't remember. But I had a dog who was killed. Like I said, I lost my house when I was like in 27, 28. Yeah, addiction problems, you guys name it. I've probably been through it. And here I am now, where I'm not super successful, but I'm a blue collar hard worker who's just out here trying to have fun. And really, what it boils down to is I'm doing something that I truly enjoy and love, and I really could care less about if I'm going to make a ton of money from this. Is the goal here for me ultimately is to get a following, because like I said, I believe in myself. I believe in my story. I'm also a writer. I have you guys on podcast can't see this, but I have a really beautiful black journal with a pen. It's called a James pen, and this pen is really awesome. The sound of that pen is just awesome. It's almost as good as the sound of this knife. Oh, listen to that thing open. The knife that I'm carrying right now is called a Kershaw fly-through. You can check it out. It's like $39 on Amazon. It's a beautiful little tiny knife, deep carry pocket clip, all black, stealth-looking, see-through pivot, frame lock. It's just got a beautiful manual flipper, great ergonomics. It's razor freaking sharp. It's an awesome knife. I love it. It's definitely my favorite budget knife, and it may very well be the best budget knife that anyone can buy right now. So anyway, yeah, I'm a writer. I love writing all kinds of different things. I might even do like story time once a month, like a storybook thing. I told everybody in one of my YouTube episodes about a book I've been writing called Fallen Angels, where that's about like an Indiana Jones kind of spin-off, but more realistic, and they stumble upon these frozen angels under Antarctica and all this craziness. But that might be something I tell a story about, and that might be a different album, but I really do believe in this, and I think it's gonna work, and I feel it, and I feel like this is my calling. And a year ago, if you would have asked me that, and I'm like, I can't do a podcast. I can't. How am I gonna do that? Where am I gonna get? Where am I gonna get the money to get the equipment? Where am I gonna get this, that, and camera and iMac? And of course, I didn't have to get a MacBook, but that's the best, I think, personally, my opinion. And a Blue Yeti mic, and just different things. Like, what was I gonna do? And then I just kind of, guys, it all just fell in line because I worked hard at it, and I started really believing in it, and everybody started supporting me, and just one thing led to another, and here we are. And it's an amazing feeling when you have support like that. Now, the one thing I will say is that stinks. Is that a lot of people that I know personally, not, well, like I have guys that I see like every day at work who definitely are cool and, like great inspirations because they believe in it too. But like you see people you don't see for years and they just do nothing but talk shit. And those are the type of people where you just kind of want to avoid. Like also, we're going to talk about dating, relationships, women. I do a thing a lot of times called Mode 1. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of that. We'll talk about that. We'll do a whole podcast on Mode 1, really, and dating if that's something you're into, which probably most of you are. I'm going to be 36, although most of the year I thought I was going to be 35. Not sure if that's embarrassing or just completely absurd, but yeah. So I'm actually going to be 36 years old. I've been single forever, and I've dated a ton of women in the last 3 years. It's just, I don't know. It's like you like literally like I feel like girls anymore. It's like they don't want a guy who's trying to be successful. And it's not that I'm trying to be successful. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just doing something that I enjoy. And nobody listens to this podcast. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop. Nobody watched my YouTube channel for years, and I still did it. Nobody knew I did YouTube because I made a promise with myself that I wouldn't start telling anybody about it that I know personally or putting on Instagram or anything like that until I had 1,000 subscribers because I felt embarrassed about it. But with this, I've been telling everybody, I'm starting a podcast on my YouTube channel and everywhere. And, I'm starting from the bottom. And, I could stay at the bottom for another year. I don't know. I don't know anything about this podcast stuff. I'm really new at this, and I just want to get out there and talk with you guys and motivate and just inspire and make people feel great and make people feel like they can go out and do something fun. You can have a hobby and have fun at it, and maybe it turns into something that you love. Like I found this here and I didn't even know it. Like it was happening right before me, and it's just like I had no clue that I was developing this like person, this persona for the microphone and for the camera, and I just really had no idea that this person exists inside of me. Now, maybe that comes from the background of being an MC when I was younger in my 20s. I always wanted to be like a famous rapper, like Eminem or someone. But, when it boils down to it, I did have the talent lyrically, but I just didn't have what it takes to push myself to that next level. Because one of the reasons why is because that in that time period, it was so oversaturated. And just like people on YouTube and podcasts right now, everybody's got a freaking podcast. There's a podcast about everything. There's a podcast about how to make people who make tape. Like tape that you stick to the wall. There's a podcast about everything. Metal workers, knife workers, camera guys, photographers, astronomers, religious beliefs, coffee making, cooking, you name it, guys. Art. By the way, I'm a super awesome artist, I believe. Maybe you think I suck. Whatever. I don't care. I like my artwork. People like it. I just draw. There's artwork behind me. You can see it on the YouTube channel. I have to remember to turn my phone on silent when I'm recording. Cool thing, I have the Galaxy Note 9, and this is definitely the best phone I've ever owned in my life, and it's got like the Retina thing or whatever. So it's pretty awesome. Oh my God, I thought my MacBook just shut off. I was going to be like, no, this podcast is awesome. So, all right, guys, that was the introduction, and I hope you guys enjoy a little bit about me. We'll get more into it in podcast 2, where I'm not really sure what that's going to be about yet, but we'll talk about it, and I'll think about it, and we will see you in the next one. For you guys on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. You guys on YouTube will see this first. The guys on podcast, you'll see it, and when all 3 are done, I'm going to release 3 podcasts right out of the gate, so you guys will have something to listen to. But YouTube, you'll get it here, 1, 2, 3, and then so on and so on and so on. But just so you guys on YouTube know, this doesn't mean this is what the channel's going to be forever. Now we're still going to do our gear reviews, we're still going to do backpacks and all this stuff I have to do, and firearm and shooting and vlogs. I don't know. It's just awesome. It's an awesome feeling to feel like this is actually happening now. And this long road to get here, it's just starting. It's just starting now. So thank you everybody for tuning in. I will see you and talk to you in the next one. Yeah. Thank you. See you guys. Peace.